Brian in Missouri was getting into what he thinks biblically is happening. Why would the West be backing Iran after backing al-Qaeda for 4 years to destabilize the region? Or is it really just to get the Arabs all killing each other in an inter-Arab, inter-Muslim, Shiite, Sunni religious war, which, again, is incredibly immoral to go start a war that will kill millions? But that's been the policy. I mean, pretty much that's what this comes down to. And then Israel feels threatened by Iran and wants to escalate into a strike and has that lined up with Saudi Arabia. So it is a real conundrum. What's your take on that, Brian?
Well, yeah, just to finish, I think this is why the Mossad is against Netanyahu, because Netanyahu may not be, in the loop on all this. And the bottom line, Ezekiel says these scrolls come from the plains of Shinar, which is where modern-day nuclear facilities for Iran are located. So at the end of the day, I think the big double, triple cross is going to come when Iran takes care of the dirty work for the U.S. and then actually has a deal cut with Russia.
Well, you're right. And the Bible is wild. It talks about flying scrolls, blowing up mountains, and, crafts in the sky that look like metal insects raining down fire. I mean, it just sounds like Apache helicopters. The Bible's really wild. And if it's science fiction, how come so much of it keeps coming true? What's your take on that statement, Brian?
Well, it's not something you can do just with a simple phone call or conversation. And obviously, much has been written by this, but...
All right, brother. Well, listen, I appreciate your call. We're going to take some more calls on the Israel situation, because even if you're sick of it like I am, because it never gets fixed, it never ends. It's just a big crisis that special interests make money out of. All the globalists play with our lives like we're nothing but pawns. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. What do you think of Netanyahu's speech, and what is it distracting us from? Alan in Washington, D.C., go ahead.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome.
Afternoon, rather. I want to note that Chris Matthews on MSNBC right after the speech said, quote, "Too many people were smiling during the Netanyahu speech." Just another example of the partisan division that they turn this into. But the bigger picture, I think, is who is Barack Obama who's negotiating with Iran? And I want to alert you of research I've done. I've connected the Obama birth certificate cover-up in Hawaii to a eugenics think tank at the East-West Center. I've connected the mother of the twins who founded Planned Parenthood to Alvin Onaka, I've connected to the Population Association of America and the American Eugenics Society, both organizations that go back to Margaret Sanger. And if you just type in Google, Hawaii official who's certified White House certificate of live birth and mother of twins who claim to remember President Obama's birth, both tied to U.S. government eugenics think tank.
Send us a link to that. We'd like to research that, and if it's accurate, post it. I know that if you look at Mother Jones Magazine or any of these leftist publications, they'll have ads from the population associations in there that are the eugenics organizations, and it's true that Obama had like a pod person upbringing. All these CIA people, all these cutouts, I mean, he is definitely manufactured. And you really can't figure out who he is. We're going to be talking about that with Joel Gilbert coming up in the third hour. Thank you so much. Adam, Frank, Sleestack is up next. I'm Alex Jones, your host. We're going to hit some other news as well and continue with your calls straight ahead.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Obama is moving to restrict AR-15 M4 variant rifles. And he is moving outside of federal law to ban, as we've been reporting since last week, many of the .223 rounds that are out there claiming they're, quote, cop killers. And by that extension, any bullet could be banned. He has said he's planning a whole bunch of executive actions on the Second Amendment. And now Town Hall reports Obama, quote, very interested in raising taxes through executive action. He already massively raised taxes on the poorest Americans, something he promised he wouldn't do, after manipulating them to vote for him via class warfare. And, of course, he's got Republicans that basically work for the same globalist operation, helping him get Obamacare through, helping him get the open borders through, set to vote on that today in the Homeland Security bill or tomorrow, helping him on every front. Not blocking the FCC, power grabbing the internet. They're moving on every front right now, and this is red linked. We'll put it on screen at Infowars.com. We've already reported that I'm getting reports from our sources around the country and seeing local stories, like in Gonzales, Texas, where the DEA and FBI were voted into the police department with grants, not just to advise or have deputy officers that are quasi-federal, but to actually be stationed in the police department. Obama to expand federal control over state local police, like Common Core, DOJ to develop standards for state and local agencies. And then, of course, penalize them if they don't follow federal orders. The Obama administration released a plan to expand federal control over state and local law enforcement. That's after the media hypes that there's an epidemic of evil police killing everybody. And it's just like guns. Really, gun crime is way down, but The media shows it and hypes it, and the perception is there's more crime with guns. I'll be honest, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I took the bait and saw police doing unconstitutional things, doing things, bad departments, robbing people at checkpoints. I got very mad and kind of projected it on police in general and played right along at a primitive level with George Soros and others' plan. But as more and more of it came out, and I watched what they do in Greece and other countries, they're doing this by design. In 2002, we got the IMF World Bank documents when Joseph Stiglitz left the World Bank, where they said, we train the police, we give them tactics that make them unpopular, then we organize a movement against them. So you don't have a revolution against the crooks at the top of the government to fix the country. You blame the lowest level person given the unconstitutional orders. You scapegoat them as society breaks down, and then you basically overthrow that group and then put in your own people. So they're playing us off against each other. And I told you that he would announce federalization of police, and there it is. I mean, over the weekend, The Statesman, USA Today, New York Times, the Austin Chronicle, I'd turn on television. Bad cops, cops are bad, cops are bad, cops are going to rob you, cops are going to kill you, cops are going to. And as much as I don't like some thug Yosemite Sam cop in a power trip telling me I can't videotape a demonstration and threatening me, I get in their face and tell them I'm going to sue them, don't violate my First Amendment. But I'm against that person violating my rights and their rights. I am not going to just sit here and get manipulated into a civil war that's focused at the police. The globalists hate veterans. They hate people trained to use weapons. They hate local government. They hate the police. Everything they do shows it. And George Soros, just like he funded the internet takeover, funded the anti-cop movement. And I will not go along with that piece of trash. And I see through everything these people are doing. And I'm telling you, I just got chills. I really did. We are in so much peril right now. I mean, the enemy is moving on every front. And you can see their battle plan all over the place. We need to reform our legislatures. We need to reform our police. Everything bad. I'm talking 95% of the bad stuff that cops are doing is federal grants. Checkpoints, federal grants. Black uniforms, tasers, instant shooting, no hesitation training, demonization of the patriots. It's all the globalists that have occupied the federal government trying to get the police to be basically their henchmen. So that when the public attacks the police, while the feds and the globalists direct the public to do so, the feds will then be the savior with guidelines and training. So, we won't come after you when you shoot somebody. I mean, you get cities of millions of people, you're going to get innocent people getting shot, and it's a tragedy. You're going to get cops that are scared shooting people. You're going to get crazy psycho cops that occasionally shoot someone in handcuffs. They should have the book thrown at them. They should be put under the jail. That then protects your local government and your county, your city, and your rule of law. Cops get taught by the feds how to cover stuff up. Then the feds come in, double-cross them, take them over. And here it is. We're going to go back to your calls. The Obama administration released a plan to expand federal control over state and local law enforcement. The plan released Monday, entitled Task Force 21st Century Policing, advocates the federalization of police agencies. This is the RAND Corporation, National Stability Force. It's always the same thing. The plan released Monday, entitled Task Force 21st Century Policing, advocates the federalization of police agencies across the country by forcing them to adhere to stricter requirements when they receive federal funding, which is our money to begin with. It's just ridiculous. And then it just goes on from there. The U.S. Department of Justice, through the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services and Office of Justice Programs, should provide technical assistance and incentive funding to jurisdictions with small police agencies and take steps towards sharing services, regional training, and consolidation. That's the state's job, not the Fed's job.